Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I'm Pastor Joe Fox. You know, back in the 1980s, right, the Soviet Union was involved in Afghanistan, in this big conflict in Afghanistan. I think they invaded in like 1979, and it's a pretty cool story if you go back and read the story of how they actually invaded Afghanistan, the initial start of that. That was pretty neat how they did it. But then they quickly ran into problems, and then we, America, saw this as an opportunity to kind of exact some revenge for, you know, Vietnam and bleed them a little bit. And so we supported the Afghans who were fighting the Soviets all throughout the 1980s. You know, we provided them training, we provided them weapons, we provided them intelligence. I mean, we just gave them everything we could to help them, you know, stick it to the man in the form of the Soviet Union. And out of that came the Taliban, the Mujahideen, you know, the Taliban, and then Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda, right? And so I submit that we probably had a huge hand in creating Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, right? We helped them. We gave them gear and we professionalized them. And then, bam, you know, we had our mess with the Taliban and Afghanistan, and it's still not over, right? I mean, we still have people there, and that's a terrible thing. I'm not making light of that, but, you know, it's kind of like we trained them and now we're fighting them, right? Well, then look at Syria. For some reason, we decide we don't like Syria anymore, and we stick our nose into that, and we're going to overthrow Assad, and so we're going to help these people who are trying to overthrow Assad, the president of Syria. And then it turns out that we help them, and we give them intelligence, and we give them training, and we give them gear. And the next thing you know, they're taking over a big chunk of Iraq, right? That's ISIS, right? And so we trained ISIS. We helped form ISIS, who now we're supposedly fighting. And so we're back in Syria fighting ISIS and Assad. You know what I mean? It's just a comedy of errors, and now we're on the side of Iran supposedly doing this thing. And then I read today, if you look at the people who are now bombing, you know, involved in the bombing campaign, the coalition to bomb ISIS, it's all these Middle Eastern countries and us, you know, doing the bulk of the load. So what's going on there? Well, one, if you're a bomb maker in America, you know, business is good, right? If you're a drone maker, business is good. Do you think that has something to do with it? You know, the money of the military-industrial complex? Oh, yeah. Come on, you know it does. And if we continue to stand up straw men, you know, and train them and make them better so that then we can go to war against them, you know, later. And it seems like it's happening quicker and quicker and quicker. You know, beware of taking aid from the U.S. because they're going to come schwack you right after that, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. But I was thinking today, what's going on? And in addition to the obvious, I'll tell you what's going on. The Arab countries are abysmal militaries. They're just horrid, right? They're not very good. But they're getting better. You know, they're flying airstrikes now, and we're teaching them how. We are making the entire Arab world better at conducting warfare. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Hey, you tell me. Here's the reality. You cannot affect anything, right? I mean, you can't, and neither can I, right? I get that. I so totally get that. And I don't really care anymore. I'm not political. Because I don't think I don't think my vote counts. You know, I don't think my voice really counts to change anything. And yours doesn't either. And here's what I recommend you do. You can watch the news, you can stay aware, you can kind of see what's going on, but you ought to focus on things you can change and things you can do. You need to get prepared. You need to get prepared for worldwide chaos. What's that going to look like? I don't know, you know. But I tell you what, basic preparedness covers a myriad of ills. You know, just having a chunk of food and a source of water and the ability to take care of yourself medically and provide for your own security for you and your group, that kind of thing. You know, just start taking care of those basics. That'll cover you whether it's an Ebola outbreak that's also manufactured, or it's you know, World War III or World War Z, or you know, the EMP or solar flare. You know, who cares? You know, if you just take care of basic steps now, so you'll be all right. And so instead of fretting, don't expend emotional energy on what's going on in the world. be aware, you know, be as wise as a serpent. Yeah, start taking care of yourself. You better get ready. You better get ready. You better get ready. And I'll say it again, being surrounded by a whole bunch of people, you know, if you live somewhere with a whole bunch of people around you, those people are going to panic. And they're going to be part of your problem. Move now. Move now. There's lots of places in the country that you can rent, buy, whatever. But hey, if you're not going to do that, whatever, start at least taking care of the basics, please. Stock up food, stock up water. You know, think about what you're going to do when everything falls apart. All right, I may see you out there.